right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Caught on camera, bump and steal. The new warning from police tonight after a driver is forced out of his car in a quiet Webster Groves neighborhood.
Terrific Tuesday, when this delightful November weather takes a turn.
First, breaking tonight, the Missouri Attorney General's final report into former St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner is in.
This is a pattern of behavior from the time she took office until she finally left.
And tonight, only 5 on Your Side has the AG's findings and his reaction. That report will be made public tomorrow, but tonight, the I-Team has an exclusive first look. Good evening. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Kim Gardner abruptly resigned in May while Andrew Bailey was ramping up his investigation into her office. The I-Team's Christine Beyer sat down with the Attorney General just hours ago to learn what he found.
This 62-page report lays out exactly what Attorney General Andrew Bailey thinks former St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner did wrong in office.
Bottom line, what did you find?
The internal workings of the office were completely dysfunctional. That her absence, her misdirection, her attack on her own staff had caused a decay in morale and operations to the point that the criminal justice system just wasn't functioning anymore.
Interviews with nearly 40 witnesses, including judges, employees, and city leaders, tens of thousands of documents, all led Bailey to this report, which found Gardner's office dismissed about 25,000 pending cases. Judges dismissed 2,735 cases for failure to prosecute. And her administration routinely violated the Crime Victims' Rights Act by making decisions on cases without notifying victims.
She came to office with the stated intention of reducing incarceration. She did that by simply not doing her job.
The investigation started when Janae Edmondson, then 17, was hit by a car leaving a volleyball tournament downtown in January. The I-Team was the first to discover that suspect in the crash should have gone to trial months before. But Gardner's office wasn't ready, so he was put on house arrest, something he violated multiple times with no repercussions.
It never should have happened.
Allies at one time, some who once supported Gardner, began to criticize her.
Because she's lost the trust of the people.
Though she still had vocal support.
Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner has not, that's what I emphasize, has not lost the trust of the community.
In April, Judge Michael Noble infamously declared,
"The Circuit Attorney's office appears to be a rudderless ship of chaos."
After she was a no-show for a contempt hearing after her office failed to prosecute a case. The judge wondered where she was. According to the report, Bailey's investigator followed Gardner here to the Family Care Health Centers, where she was working on clinicals as part of a master's degree in nursing from St. Louis University. And it wasn't the only time.
There needs to be an action that can be taken when you've got public officials who are refusing to do their job because they're pursuing other endeavors on company time.
Gardner resigned before the case could go to trial. The report reveals she emailed her resignation to the governor 2 hours before a judge was supposed to decide whether Bailey could depose her and subpoena her school records.
Proof positive that there's a lot of smoke there for there not to be any fire.
Bailey then dropped his lawsuit against her. Retired Judge Bill Corrigan was going to be Bailey's lead prosecutor had the case gone to trial.
Do you think you would have met the extraordinarily high bar to remove her from office?
I believe the evidence was so overwhelming, there is no doubt that we would have won this case.
Bailey says Gardner's office never turned over any of the documents he was seeking.
She litigated the case much like she ran her office, and that was an attempt to vex, harass, and delay the public from understanding what was going on.
Bailey says he's still pursuing the documents even though Gardner is out of office.
What can be done to hold her accountable?
I think that that's going to be up to the judiciary to decide, whether her licensure is at risk. But I also think that when you have a prosecutor that conducts activities that are outside of the scope of their statutory authority, they run into a potential waiver of sovereign immunity. So there could be a civil suit if somebody can establish damages based on that. And certainly if she is stealing from the public coffers, that's something that attaches criminal liability as well.
Bailey's office concluded the report with several recommendations for legislators, including extending the Victims' Rights Act to post-conviction proceedings and prohibiting elected officials from seeking office if they resign after an attorney general files a lawsuit to remove them from office. For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
The I-Team contacted Gardner for a response. We're still waiting to hear back. We've also requested copies of the evidence in Bailey's case. To see the full report from the Attorney General, you can go to KSDK.com.
Just hours ago, St. Louis's new circuit attorney, Gabe Gore, told a concerned group of downtown residents prosecuting people who commit violent crimes is his top priority. Our Robert Townsend was at that town hall, joins us now live from outside the Carnahan Courthouse. Robert.
And Gabe Gore tells me he's well aware of the violent crimes happening all across the city. He says he's committed to cracking down on those criminals. It's been nearly 6 months since Gabe Gore became the new circuit attorney for the city of St. Louis. And Gore says he's clear on one thing.
This is our primary problem.
He's talking about the car break-ins, deadly shootings, and other violent crimes that continue to plague the city. Police say in the past month, there have been 30 auto thefts, 14 assaults, and 8 burglaries downtown and in the downtown west areas alone.
This is an epidemic. This is something that must be addressed, and it's where my relentless focus is.
Gore told these downtown folks he and his team are going after the offenders.
My focus from the beginning and my focus today remains on doing what we can to hold people accountable for the commission of violent crimes.
Gore replaced an embattled Kim Gardner who faced much criticism, controversy, and saw many prosecutors leave the city attorney's office. Gore says he's currently working with 49 prosecutors, but still wants to hire more high-level, competent lawyers. He also promised to rebuild the office and relationships with city leaders and the city's police department.
I thought having the circuit attorney present today was very symbolic and very good, and I'm quite pleased that he showed up.
I was very, very impressed with his comments. They were music to my ears. I think they are just what the city of St. Louis needs.
Now, Gore says another goal of his is to build trust with the community. We're live downtown. I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Tonight, the Major Case Squad is investigating the first homicide in Clayton in nearly 20 years. Police were called to the area of Wydown and Glen Ridge Drive just before 5:30 this morning for reports of gunfire. When officers arrived, they found a man shot. Investigators have not released any other details. If you have information, you are asked to call the Major Case Squad, and we have that information at KSDK.com.
Tonight, Maryland Heights police are investigating after human remains were found near Creve Coeur Lake. The skeletal remains were found yesterday on the southwest side of the park near the Lake House Bar and Grill on Creve Coeur Mill Road. Back in July, a car belonging to a missing 67-year-old man was found at the park. Maryland Heights police have not said if there's a connection between the two cases. A push in St. Charles County opposing Latino immigrants coming to the region will have to wait.
Just hours ago, the county council tabled a resolution. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski just stepped out of the meeting and joins us live in St. Charles. What's going on, Laura?
Well, Mike and Ann, the St. Charles County Council was supposed to actually vote on this resolution tonight, but at the last second, one of the bill sponsors, Joe Brazel, pulled it off the table, saying 2 of the bill sponsors were here and several other of the county council members didn't support it, at least in the form it is now. If signed, Resolution 2308 says, quote, the St. Charles County Council strongly opposes the importation of illegal immigrants into the region, pointing to a federal program allowing people from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela to come to the United States.
On this particular parole program, the Attorney General of Missouri filed a lawsuit on this particular program along with 19 other states. So there's 20 lawsuits going on right now with this particular program.
Earlier parts of the legislation specifically call out the International Institute's new program, the Latino Outreach Initiative, which would support the federal program. And according to the CEO, Ario Benson, the program only sponsors immigrants and refugees who have come to the United States legally.
They have authorization to work in the United States for a 2-year period.
Benson says they want to send the right message to draw people to the St. Louis region.
Our mission is to create opportunities for immigrants and refugees to thrive in order to create a more welcoming, more prosperous and healthy region for all.
The chairman of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Jose Ponce, says he believes the legislation sponsors just don't understand what they're trying to do.
If there's a law already that's passed and proven a program and has individuals that have the capabilities to come in and gain gainful employment or perhaps being a business owner in the future, this is a benefit for our community in general.
Some of the county council members say they didn't even know about the resolution until the agenda was posted on the website a few days ago.
I don't think this resolution accomplishes anything positive. I don't see its purpose. The county council has no control over these matters.
County Councilman Brazel says he plans to re-propose this resolution when all members can be in attendance. Reporting live from St. Charles, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
She got 4 chairs to turn in the blind auditions and handedly won her battle round.
Tonight, Ruby Lee continued to knock out the competition on NBC's The Voice. The 16-year-old yodeling sensation from small-town Foley, Missouri won tonight's 3-way knockout round for Team Reba with her rendition of Leanne Rimes' Blue. Coach Reba McIntyre explained why Ruby deserved to move on to the playoffs.
Ruby reminds me of old country. We need that tone, that yodel, that country feel. You took all the notes that Winona and I gave you and you used them.
It's such a great feeling. I'm so excited to go playoffs. I can't wait.
While this episode aired tonight, Ruby was in the Lake of the Ozarks performing. She's headed to Texas tomorrow ahead of her performance with country star George Strait. You can continue to watch her journey Monday and Tuesday nights right here on 5 on Your Side.
Pretty violent crime that happened right on our street.
And it was all caught on a doorbell camera. Tonight, the warning on how car thieves are putting victims in harm's way in more ways than one. Leave it to Beaver, the good cause that brought a TV legend to town, and sharing secrets from the set with our Frank Cusimano.
It was just a fun time to be alive for me.
The unsettled weather is missing our area once again. Why the next chance of widespread rain may impact your Thanksgiving travel plans.
Tonight, Webster Groves police are warning people after a recent car theft. The thieves used a tactic known as bump and steal.
Police say it's putting drivers in danger in more ways than one. And new tonight, 5 on Your Side's Annie Krall spoke with neighbors who caught the crime on their home surveillance cameras.
That's the sound of a car getting hit from behind on South Rock Hill Road in Webster Groves. The family across the street who sent us this footage from their doorbell camera was having Sunday dinner. Then, all of a sudden, they heard this. The damaged vehicle being driven away by car thieves, and the victim being left stranded, holding his own keys.
It was just absolutely shocking.
On the corner of Baker Avenue and South Rock Hill Road, police reported a car theft last night. Neighbors telling me that in a quiet residential area like this, it's a growing trend they've never expected.
It's obviously disappointing. I'm glad nobody was injured in this. This is a second carjacking, I think, in the last 2 weeks. So it's a little scary when those violent crimes are coming into your neighborhood.
After rear-ending the driver, one teenage suspect got out and told the victim, quote, "Sorry for bumping into the stopped car," according to the police report. Then the other jumped in the passenger side door of the victim's car. Both cars barreling down the street. Doug Allenbaugh has told his 2 children, who are teenage drivers,
The fact that something like this could happen is something that I wouldn't even expect, let alone expect to newer drivers in the past 2 years here. So it's, you've really got to assess the situation, and I wouldn't expect them to jump out of the car automatically anymore.
Police say the suspects never threatened the victim and no one was injured. Webster Groves police are now coordinating with other agencies who faced similar events recently. Reporting in Webster Groves, Annie Krall, 5 on Your Side.
And if you have any information or camera footage from the theft on South Rock Hill Road last night, please call the Webster Groves Police Department.
Tonight, St. Peter's police are searching for the duo who broke into a popular produce stand and stole every last dollar in the building. The crime happened around 3 Sunday morning at Orlando's Produce on Mexico Road. The owner tells 5 on Your Side the thieves crawled on all fours into the office and took 2 days worth of earnings and money from the employee tip jar. They're grateful for the outpouring of community support.
This morning, once we got our Wi-Fi back up, and even before we had customers coming in here, they were like, I don't really need anything, but I just want to buy something just to support you guys. So we love and appreciate our customers.
If you recognize anyone in this video that you saw, call St. Peter's Police.
Tonight, we're learning more about a St. Louis man accused of driving around the Metro East in fake police cars. Raymond Signorino is now charged with 3 misdemeanors. Millstadt police arrested him on Friday in this black SUV equipped with lights, sirens, and fake state police license plates. Police are now asking anyone who believes they may have been pulled over by these cars to call law enforcement in the area where it occurred.
Tonight, we're just days away from one of the busiest Thanksgiving holiday travel seasons in nearly 20 years. And experts say the nation's airports will be especially busy. Today, AAA released its holiday travel forecast. It expects more than 4.7 million people to fly for Thanksgiving. That's the most since 2005. Another 49 million will be driving. In total, AAA is predicting more than 55 million Americans will be traveling 50 miles or more from home. That's the 3rd highest forecast since the Auto Club began tracking in 2000.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joining us now with the Weather First forecast. We were talking about how it doesn't feel like Thanksgiving weather, but it's kind of a mixed bag in St. Louis. I mean, there are Thanksgivings that are cold, and there are Thanksgivings where you could wear a t-shirt.
Yeah, and you know, when it's warm, that's great because then all the kids can go outside and you kind of free up.
Get out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Get your guests to go out on the porch and have a drink.
And then when it's cold, then you don't have to worry about storing all your food. You just shove it outside and it's all good, right?
That is true.
So we're going to kind of be in that in-between changing seasons, if you will, as we head towards next week. Our temperatures are going to back off. We'll be a little bit below average. But boy, how about this Veterans Day weekend? Was it not awesome? Beautiful weather around. Lori, on our 5 on Your Side Weather Watchers Facebook group, shared one of the many pictures that she shared with us out near Carlisle Lake of the fall foliage. Still a few leaves out there. We do have a mostly dry week around the bi-state area, but the drought is going to continue because of that and maybe get a little bit worse. We just don't see much of an opportunity for rain over the next 5 or 6 days for sure. We've had mainly clear skies tonight. Those temperatures backing off. Outlying areas already down into the 30s in some cases. Lambert coming in with 46 degrees right now. Just a few high clouds, mainly off to the south and southeast of St. Louis. 46, no wind, dew points 30. So we're going to see those temperatures in all areas drop back into the 30s. Outlying areas should be close to 30, while we'll be a little closer to 40 in town. This morning we started at 42 and managed to get back to 69 degrees. Here are your numbers for tomorrow morning. Out the door in the Chesterfield Valley, it'll be frosty and 30 degrees, about the same in Crystal City. Over in Collinsville and Edwardsville and Shiloh, about 32 early tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, this rain down to the south isn't even getting as far north as it needs to get. Much of Louisiana, Mississippi could use a healthy dose of rain. They're going to miss out. Most of it's going to be right along the Gulf Coast, and it's certainly far to the south of us. So tomorrow, fine day across the bi-state area. It's slightly cooler than today, but still nice. Our only chance for rain this week comes on Friday, mainly in the morning, and especially south and east of St. Louis. Listen, it's not going to amount to much if we even see rain on Friday. Now, next week's a big travel week, so let's start on Monday. We're going to have a system developed to our southwest, and it's going to be mainly sliding by to our south, but close enough so that we think on Monday and heading into Tuesday, we'll probably see some showers around here. But you're more likely to see steadier rain farther to the south, taking us into Tuesday. Now, Wednesday is the big travel day next week, right? So going east and southeast of St. Louis, there may be a little rain in the morning, but then towards the middle of the day, Wednesday into Wednesday night, you may see some stronger, heavier rain off along the East Coast, and that could cause some flight delays. For us, Thanksgiving's going to be brisk, cooler, partly cloudy, mainly dry, in the 40s, we think, for high temperatures as we head towards next Thursday. Of course, that's 10 days out, and there'll be a little adjustment here and there. But really, our travel situation for the wet weather is mostly Monday into Tuesday. And we're hoping we get some decent rain, but we can't guarantee a whole lot of it at this point. Still looks like it'll be mostly to the south of us.
All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Hall of Fame night for two former Blues. Mizzou and SIU Edwardsville squared off on the hardwood, and we're playing hit and run with Beaver Cleaver? What?
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
If somebody asked me for my favorite interview of all time, Ken Hitchcock always makes my top 5. Tonight, the former Blues coach made the Hockey Hall of Fame. When you're 4th all-time in wins with 849, you belong. Another former Blue, Pierre Turgeon, was also inducted tonight. Al McInnes met him on stage. He spent 5 seasons with the Note, and he scored over 20 goals each year and finished with 515. But Hitch was here for 6 years. He didn't win his Stanley Cup with the Note. He did coaching Brett Hull with the Dallas Stars. But what a hockey mind he had.
When I look around this room, I've got friends in this room, friends for life. People I spend the summers with, people we go on crazy junkets to far out bars to discuss hockey. And it's given me a life that I could have never imagined. It's given me friends that I can count on and hopefully can count on me. I feel like I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Dennis Gates and Mizzou hosting SIU Edwardsville tonight. He calls that his work suit. Sean East is working on his scoring game, a slippery move, 2 of his 20 points. Noah Carter had a nice night, 15 points, 10 rebounds, the tray right there. And Aiden Shaw had the dunk of the night. Mizzou wins 68-50. Cody Schrader is going to win an SEC rushing title. He just scorched Tennessee for 321 total yards. Not bad for a guy who couldn't get a college to offer him a scholarship out of high school.
A Northern Colorado coach showed up at Lutheran South and really was like, we really want you. We want you to be our guy. They went as far as scheduling the visit, buying his plane ticket. And then I believe it was either the night before or a couple of days beforehand, they called him up and said, look, we've got our guy and we canceled your plane ticket.
Whew. Wow.
Yeah, and that was from Northern Colorado.
Yeah.
I wonder how their running backs are doing today.
That is beautiful. SIU Edwardsville got an automatic bid to the NCAA Men's College Cup on Saturday. Today, they found out that their road will begin in Memphis. The unbeaten Cougars will face the Tigers in the opening round on Thursday. Game time not determined quite yet. We often play hit and run with a celebrity. Tonight, 75-year-old Jerry Mathers from Leave It to Beaver is our subject. He was in town for the charity Rainbow for Kids, which works with families with children with cancer. Let's play it with Beaver Cleaver. Your favorite TV show of all time, not Leave It to Beaver?
I like the news.
Is it true you got the role because producers believed you'd be a great little boy on the show? Because during the audition, you said you'd rather be at a Cub Scout meeting?
Right, it was the very first Cub Scout meeting I was going to, and my mom came to me and said, you know, Jerry, that show that they were talking about, well, they'd like to see you. And I said, well, I can't go. And she said, what do you mean you can't go? And I said, well, I got my Cub Scout meeting. And she said, no, we're going. So I went, got the job, and I didn't become a Cub Scout, but it was probably a lot more worth it to be on Leave It to Beaver.
Your father, Hugh Beaumont, Ward Cleaver.
Nice man. He was actually a Methodist minister.
Barbara Billingsley?
Just another really great person. And if you messed around, you knew Barbara would be after you.
One downside of the career?
I could never find one. I mean, it's something that, you know, set me up for life.
On Christmas, the entire crew would give you a gift. How many gifts are we talking?
Probably 70 to 80.
The story about you dying in the Vietnam War, people thought you had died?
Very, very, very definitely. Somebody called me up, Jerry, and I said, yeah, is it really you? And I said, yeah, you know me, I'm talking to you. And they said, no, but there was something in the paper today that said, an American actor dies in Vietnam, Jerry Mathers of Leave It to Beaver. And I said, well, it didn't happen because here I am.
So reports of his demise greatly exaggerated.
It's amazing.
Yep.
He looks pretty good for 75.
He looks great.
All right, Frank, thanks.
Listen to your mom. 143 days until the Cardinals home opener, but your first swing at opening day tickets is just days away. Small Business Saturday could be overtaking Black Friday. According to a new Bankrate survey, 60% of holiday shoppers plan to shop at a privately owned store on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. That's compared to 56% who plan to shop at large stores on Black Friday. A majority of shoppers believe small businesses offer unique gift ideas and better customer service.
The Cardinals are celebrating Red Friday this week. All-inclusive tickets and ticket packages will go on sale on Friday on the Cardinals website. This includes the opening day package, which is your first chance to get tickets to the home opener. The 2024 promotional schedule will also be released later this week. And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
If you are up, please start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. and have a great tomorrow.